What's cracking, guys? Omar Isov here, back with another video. I hope you're doing well because we're talking about everyone's favorite topic today, getting that ass, or I should say actually getting that mass, the question of our times, the existential question, why there is no such thing as the natty limit. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is an optimistic video. For a change, we're going to be positive. We're gonna believe in the young whippersnappers of tomorrow. I think being natural online has taken a bit of a negative hit. The optics just aren't there because a lot of people will claim two important arguments why it's not worth it either to stay natural or the entire journey is kind of frivolous at the end of the day. One, as we know, testosterone decreases over time. Once you hit 30, starts going down, and that means it's harder to build muscle mass as well as to lose fat. And then point number two, they'll say, as we know, when you're natural, your first several years of lifting are your most important, where you'll make the vast majority of your gains. After that point, once again, diminishing returns. Yeah, maybe you got 5% or 10% more muscle mass, yada, 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 but is it really worth it? No, it seems pointless. So why even do the damn thing? If we intersect these 2 points, that your testosterone goes down, right, after 30, and that really after the first several years of lifting, you're getting diminishing returns, explain this. We're gonna play my favorite game. Who's your favorite zaddy? Because I'm gonna put on the screen a ton of natural bodybuilders, and every single one of them is at least in their late 30s, if not 40s or 50s. That's a shocker, I know. We got Jeff Alberts, we got Brian Whitaker, we got Martin Daniels, we got Alberto Nunez, we got Phil Ricardo Jr., and hell, let's throw in the hunk himself, Eric Helms. Now, a lot of the individuals I just named, they're not just competing, they're winning the damn thing. So how is this possible that we got these daddies once again competing against the young bucks in the open division of natural bodybuilding, and they're winning? They're in their late 30s, 40s, or 50s. If you answered steroids, you failed our IQ test for this video, because think about it. This is natural bodybuilding. Anyone and everyone has the same access to cheat, right? And we know from the Harlem study recently, self-reported users, I think the average age was something in their 20s. I would say younger dudes in general are more impetuous. So it's a level playing field. Anyone can cheat the system. There's not just a handful of natural bodybuilders that look really good in their late 30s. In fact, it's kind of the norm that you begin peaking into your 30s, if not for some people, their 40s, and in rare instances, their 50s. That is because the two initial premises we had at the start of our video, that one, your testosterone will automatically decline after 30, that one's false. We know amongst active individuals that actually testosterone won't necessarily decline until you're in your 40s, if not 50s. And there's a whole other conversation about the role of testosterone in terms of muscle building and how it's overplayed. But nonetheless, that premise, false. And then the second one, once again, that the vast majority of your gains happen in the first several years, and thus lifting after that point or trying to get better in some meaningful way is pointless. That's also a false premise. I'm saying that we don't know what your potential is, and also you can make meaningful gains because people get caught up with percentages. And I think because numbers aren't intuitive, it's kind of hard to grasp. When we'll say like, oh, guess what? You make 80% of your gains, right, in your first 5, 6, 7 years. But that remaining 20% can be quite remarkable, especially when you're comparing it to other people. When I tested my body fat recently, I was tested at 13.7% body fat, don't you ever forget it. And we found out that I had roughly 80 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. And if we have 20% more to gain, oh, that seems kind of pointless, but we need to contextualize that, right? Because if we're talking about strength numbers as an example, a 10% bump on 550, that's a 600-pound deadlift. That's a nice deadlift right there. The difference between an extra 10 or 20% on your frame could be the difference between 16-inch arms and 17-inch arms. And because we're in a competitive setting where everything's relative to other participants in the field, if you stick with it over time, you'll start to eke past some of the competition. Sure, we all have our own limits, a theoretical construct of what is possible, but you won't know until you put the years and years. And we've actually seen this in a different context where some people on YouTube we've seen, so Alpha Destiny, Alex, we've seen them make tremendous progress in the last several years. GVS, another great YouTube channel, comes to mind. And again, I'm not saying that every single person, there's 40 more pounds of lean muscle mass just waiting out there for you to figure out. But I am saying that part of the beautiful process of lifting is that journey of self-discovery, where in ways you are and are not a special snowflake. Most of the things will apply to you in terms of proximity to failure, exercise selection, what you do in the gym, how you approach the gym, percentages when we talk about strength training, macronutrients. A lot of those things will apply. But over time, the nuance comes from discovering what works or what is best for you and what your goal is. Bro, like why not just use steroids? Like, okay, you're telling me right now I could achieve this in 6 years, or I could get it in 1 year just being enhanced. Well, sometimes the process of lifting is a process of self-discovery where you think you have it all figured out, you think you're at a barrier, and then actually you unlock the next level, because sometimes it's the manipulation of some of these key variables, like how's your recovery, like what are your carbohydrates like? Is it unicaloric? Do you eat the same amount of calories every day, or do you vary it up? Diet breaks, could that be useful for you? All these different considerations. And what you'll see over time for a lot of people is that they'll figure out what's preventing them from reaching that next level. For myself, as an example, 2012, I'd already been lifting for a handful of years. My deadlift went from making about 20 pounds of progress per year to adding 110 pounds in a year. That's not an exaggeration. And if we remove the belt, that's still about 85 pounds of progress. Lifting is a skill, and people forget that. It's something that you have to practice, you have to be conscious about, you have to analyze, which is why I think a lot of really good athletes are actually low-key analytical about themselves, because they're doing a diagnostic. Is this working for me? What am I doing? What can I do differently? Let me try and change it up. Oh, this is what happened. And so this process of self-discovery is something that only a lifter over time can experience. And that is why these zaddies who are in the late 30s into their 40s and their 50s, they look better than the young bucks. And while we might not know our limit, and there is that theoretical point, we shouldn't self-limit our progress at that expense. And the last thing I'll say in regards to this video, there's also, once again, that element of the tyranny of progress where sometimes we get caught up so much on the numbers of achieving more that we lose sight of what's important, the skills that we accumulate, actually the impact it has on other aspects of our life. So never lose sight of that. Anyways, that's all I want to say. Answering the question in the video, who's your favorite zaddy? That was the real question in the video, and I want you to comment in the comment section below. This is the key question of our time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you liked the video, make sure to like the damn video. And I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace.
Oh my God. Wait, jorts? You can't actually lift in those jeans.
Actually, you can, my guy.
But are they comfortable?
No question. I sleep in mine.
Try the all-new Rascal jorts. Perfect for heavy lifting. Perfect for toning. Perfect for if you hate yourself and want to briefly escape the painful existence of reality.
Anything and everything.